All right, so analysts today um, predict that NBC Universal or Comcast can merge NBC Universal, will try to merge NBC Universal and Warner Brothers Discovery into one major company. Now, of course, Warner Brothers Discovery just got bought and sold. Warner Brothers just got sold by AT&T to Discovery, and now David Zaslav is the CEO of that, and they merged to form Warner Brothers Discovery. Now, of course, hasn't started off too well with the especially with DC properties. Batgirl's become shelved. A lot of HBO Max content has been disappearing. And there's HBO Max is eventually going to disappear until a brand new streaming service with a major Discovery Plus and Warner Brother and HBO Max are kind of just going to combine to a new streaming service next year. Now, analysts predict that maybe David Zazie, as they call him, won't get very far, and that the company will be up for sale potentially again in 2024, or that NBC Universal Comcast will be making a bid for the company in 2024. I was very shocked and disappointed that they didn't make a bid this time before Discovery bought it, because this could be very, very big for the theme park division of Comcast, which is, of course, NBC Universal, which is the Universal Studios parks around the world. Disney, obviously, is the biggest competitor, and even there's an article today that the Comcast CEO, said that they are gaining market share on Disney, which is fantastic. I'm going to be discussing that and a whole lot more on Orange Grove 55's channel in a future video coming up pretty soon, hopefully. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe to his channel for that. But could be massive. I mean, if Comcast were to buy Warner Brothers, they'd have full access to the Warner Brothers IP. Sure, they have like a partnership with Warner Brothers with Harry Potter and stuff, but they'd have full access to that IP. It would be theirs. They wouldn't be like licensing or partnering. It would be theirs, right? So they'd probably save money in the long run with that. Also, they wouldn't just have select Warner Brothers IP like Harry Potter, but a lot more, arguably DC, right? DC properties are massive, right? Disney has Marvel with Avengers Campus here in California, and some Marvel property or Cosmic Rewind in Florida, and around the world they have Avengers campuses around popping up. Sure, they may not be the greatest lands, but they are still very popular because they are Marvel and they have lots of Marvel characters. If Universal can build a proper DC land and strip the DC rights away from Six Flags, because Six Flags is not doing anything with them. In fact, if you've seen my recent Wonder Woman videos from Media Day, then you can see that Six Flags Magic Mountain specifically stripped the DC Universe area, including its sign, which was one of the most themed areas in the park, and stripped it down to almost nothing. So they made it even worse when it's supposed to be brand new. So not good. All Six Flags would have to do is just kind of take the logos off the coasters and rename them to something different. They wouldn't have to repaint them if they were to get the DC rights, the theme park rights, get shipped from Six Flags. If Six Flags even survives, then that's a whole different topic for a whole different video. I mean, look, Magic Mountain promised all these new events next year, and one of them's already been canceled. Goth Night, which is supposed to be happening this month, has been canceled. So that's not a good sign for potential other new events like Mardi Gras that's supposed to be happening next year. But again, that's for a separate video. And again, I heard Fright Fest. I'll be at Fright Fest next Saturday for the mini event. I heard it's not too good this year. It's already not the greatest in this recent years, but I heard it's not too good in terms of the quality and not too good in terms of attendance. It doesn't seem like anybody is at Fright Fest, especially again on the weekends when no one's in school or work. It should be, pretty packed, but reports have been saying otherwise. So again, stay tuned for a couple videos on that in the future. But yes, if Universal were to acquire Warner Brothers and have access to DC here in Hollywood and in Epic Universe, one of those massive expansion pads, I'm sure they had to be saving room for a proper DC land, or DC Universe, DC area, whatever they called it, and here in Hollywood, and a much bigger one out in Orlando. And probably they had to probably add a DC land to all their parks, because those are global movies when done right, like Joker, and the Batman Begins, and any type of DC movie that's really good and done right. Most of them that are not part of the DCEU, some of them like Aquaman and Wonder Woman are fantastic, but they are global movies. I mean, they get lots of money all over the world and in the US. So if I were Universal, just like how they add Harry Potter lands to all their parks, I'm sure they would add DC Universe areas to all their parks as well. Here in Hollywood, I feel like the lower lot would be a fantastic spot for a DC Universe. Kind of remove the tram, not remove it, but just kind of move the tram or studio to a route. It's very easy because they just drive on the street. They're already moving sound stages. That a big plot of land in the lower lot could be used for a DC Universe should they acquire Warner Brothers in 2024, and that is very important because if they acquire Warner Brothers in 2024, they can start kind of planning that. That's kind of soon, right? Because with the Fast and Furious coaster, rumored Fast and Furious coaster, and maybe the Bourne show taking up time between 2026, Super World next year, and then 2024 maybe like I think a Trolls edition rumored, and then Fast and Furious 2025, Bourne 2026. If they acquire Warner Brothers in 2024, they can already start working on plans for the land. That way, by the time 2026 or even 2025 rolls around, they can start demoing those sound stages on the lower lot and use that massive big space for a DC Universe area, should this all come to fruition. And I wouldn't be surprised to see, if they are planning to do that, wouldn't be surprised to see if any potential plans, any blue sky ideas they have, Universal has for the lower lot now. I wonder if they'd have those, but kind of put those on hold, to see if they can get a DC, if they do acquire Warner Brothers, because I'm sure they'd want to also drop a DC plan as well. And again, strip those theme park rights from Six Flags. If I was Comcast and I acquired Warner Brothers, the first thing I'd do is find any possible way to buy them out, or I don't know how that works. Just end licensing agreement with Six Flags and get DC out of there, so they can build, at least with Magic Mountain. I mean, sure, there's not a DC park or Universal Park in like almost all 50 states like there's Magic Mountain, but even so, I'm sure Universal wouldn't want a DC area in like Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, because they'd want people to visit their DC area in Florida or Hollywood, therefore encouraging a flight. So yeah, I just strip those DC rights from theme park rights from Six Flags immediately, have a kind of a DC area in place, kind of draw one up anyway, just ready to go, and then boom, start construction, get it ready by the Olympics, can open a brand new DC area. Ooh, that would be fantastic. But not just DC, I mean, come on. Lots, of course, they own full rights to Harry Potter, and Warner Brothers has lots of great properties, little known properties, franchises, Constantine. I guess that's a DC property, but even Warner Brothers has a fantastic horror collection, right? New Line Cinema and Warner Brothers. They can add maybe add to they have a classic Monsters Land coming to the Epic Universe, but maybe they can expand on that, right? Instead of a classic Monsters Land, maybe a Conjuring Land, or like a Warner Brothers horror land, right? With Conjuring and all their horror movies. Maybe it's that's it. Maybe a Conjuring area, right? Conjuring is its own universe. They can put Conjuring, La Llorona. Again, sorry if I mispronounced that. What else? The Nun. All those movies in the Conjuring universe into one massive land. That's Warner Brothers, and that could be a horror-based land, just like the Classic Monsters is. So, plenty of great ideas, and Warner Brothers owns so many IP that they don't even use, or Looney Tunes. I mean, that'd be great for a kids area. A lot of Universal is compared to Disney, lacking in like kids attractions. A Looney Tunes area would not just be great for kids, but for the whole family. They can have kids area, but then maybe a dark ride, something like almost like Cat in the Hat over in the Islands of Adventure. Now they have, it's mainly Kiddie Land, but the Cat in the Hat is a fantastic dark ride for everybody. And something like the Kids Zone at Universal Studios Florida could easily be rethemed and reskinned to a Looney Tunes area, which would have a more broad appeal and more timeless appeal. So it wouldn't have to get rethemed or demoed, every 10 to 20 years. What do you guys think about the possibilities? Again, this is not confirmed. This is just what analysts are predicting, probably based on some insider conversations, what they're seeing with what's going on with HBO Max and Warner Brothers, what the industry is thinking of David Zaslav, and what's just happening in general. Plenty of great opportunities. I think this could be fantastic. And again, as soon as 2024, that's just like a year and a half away, really. 2022 is almost over. We're in the 9th month of the year. It's almost over, and we have maximum 2 years. Potentially, though, just a year and a half away from NBC Comcast aggressively trying to get Warner Brothers. And by then, if Warner Brothers is really down in the dumps with this merger, this Warner Brothers Discovery and HBO Max and all that good stuff, it's down in the dumps, and the DCEU continues to be down in the dumps, don't be surprised if price tag quickly becomes available in Daddy Zaz, as they call him. Just cashes in and sells it off to Comcast, who a company that will do much, much better with it than Mr. Zaslav has, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What kind of Warner Brothers properties and rides and attractions would you want to see at Universal Parks should this happen in a couple of years? Let me know all that in the comments below. Like this button if you press the thumbs up. If you like the button, press the thumbs up if you like the video. Comment below your ideas and thoughts. Subscribe for more theme park updates. I'll be at Super Nintendo World tomorrow morning for an update there. And as always, have a fantastic day.